I'm going to record. All right. So again, we are going to be talking about how to launch your business like a pro. And all of you I know are going to be pros, but I'm going to let you know, you all came into this business because you saw the business opportunity. And that's just not always going to be the case. I have a feeling that most of the coaches that join you in the near future are going to be business minded, but over time you're going to have people that you, or maybe right away, that you help get amazing results with their health and fitness. And they're going to fall in love with what you offer and what you do, and they're going to want to be coaches. And so they're not going to come in with as much of a business mindset. And when I started, I had a lot of business background, but I didn't come in with a business mindset because I just wanted to hold myself accountable and to get healthy. I had no expectations. And so when I launched my business, I think I told you guys this, just a lot of this will be repeat, but when I launched my business, it was a Facebook post. That was my launch. Would I ever have launched another business like that? No. So in my mind, I didn't really see, this wasn't a real business to me. And you're going to deal with people that come in and it's not going to be a real business to them. It's just going to be fun, something to hold them accountable, like a side hobby. They don't know how to think like a business owner. And so a lot of what I'm going to teach you about how to launch a business is which I believe are the first steps in thinking like a business owner. There's a book called The 10X Rule. And if you ever feel like you just need to be pumped up, like you just are like, oh, I'm dragging, I'm feeling overwhelmed, like I'm feeling scared, I'm kind of like losing the newness. Grant Cardone is the author, and he wrote the 10X Rule. And now I'm listening to Be Obsessed or Be Average. And he is like, boom, like go after it. And something that he says, this is kind of the gist of it in the 10X Rule that I think is like how I want you to start thinking as we talk about the launches. The biggest threat to your success is not that you will be annoying or that you will do things wrong or that you won't look as professional or that you'll mess up. It's that you'll be obscure. The biggest threat to your business is that nobody will know who in the heck you are and what in the heck you're doing. And so that's the fear, right? Is that the opposite. It's not everybody will know. I'm afraid everybody won't know what I'm doing. I'm afraid nobody will know who I am. No, we go in and we're like, I'm afraid that they're going to think I'm annoying. I'm afraid they're going to say no. I'm afraid they're going to whatever. And so that type of fear is like literally going to block you from success. And so going into a launch, I really believe burst through that mindset and it switches it around. And it's like, no, everybody I know is going to know who I am, what I'm doing, and how I can help them. So what is a launch event? A launch event is a golden opportunity, a leverage point to make your mark in the mind of your prospect. It's a way to make your warm market, which is just people that you know and that know of you, doesn't have to be best friends, to make them the hero, to create a customer base and to inspire referrals. They are a must when opening any new business, whether it's in the virtual space or a brick and mortar location. And then these are really awful pictures. You guys can see my different haircuts and fluctuating weight represented in this. But these are I just kind of like Google searched my name and found some old pictures of different launch events that I had been to. So these are just different launch events. This one right here, the top right, that's actually, I can tell because of the photo in the back, that's actually a grand opening for one of my photography studios. And so, we had been in business before we had this grand opening for maybe 4 or 5 years, but we got a studio space and we're like, time to have a party, right? It's a way to get people in my space because they were just looking at me online. They knew me, but I wanted to make my mark in their mind. I wanted to show them, what does Ashley Brockington, what does it mean? What does her work look like? What is her vibe? Who should you refer her to? And so we had a studio, we had past like food, but this wasn't just like regular past food. I had these little coffees that were like iced coffees, but then they had like cotton candy on top. So they looked really very, very interesting. this before cake pops were a thing. We had cake pops before they were a thing. We had very like trendy types foods, just fun. It was all very fun. We had like caramel corn mixed with cheddar popcorn, just really, really different types of things than you would get at your standard like networking event. My work was displayed everywhere. So that would be like my product offerings, what I offered. And I went all out. I had a DJ. I just made it really, really, really good. Took pictures, photo booths, like little favors. And I looked at it like this was it. This was the time. I could have gone to every single person and said, hey, can I meet you for lunch, take you out to lunch, show you my portfolio? Or I could have this big party and like leave my mark. And so that's what I did. And that's what just business after business that I would go to these events. That's what they did. Okay, so here are 3 different types of launch ideas. And I'm sure there's a ton more, like a ton more. You could do anything. But the ones I kind of wanted to share today were, one would be a well-planned party. And that's kind of what I've done. That is what I've done in the past is I've like, okay, I want a space. I want a theme, like just a feel to it, a vibe, a type of food, like what is it going to be? This one in this picture is just a Google picture. It looks like they had some like, I don't know, Mexican food or Asian food, just low key, that kind of thing. But a well-planned party. The next one is a casual meetup. And then last, an online event. The objectives of having an event like this, a launch event, a grand opening, a party, an open house, whatever you want to call it, are one, that you want everyone you know and to understand what you're doing and how they can be involved. Because otherwise, what happens is you're afraid of your warm market. You kind of tiptoe around them. You kind of ask them, but you're like afraid to straight out ask them. And they go years without being invited or really learning what you do. And it's like you're delaying your success. You want everyone to know. We're not thinking that everybody is going to like purchase. Imagine, I've used the example of a dentist office, like an orthodontist or something. Imagine if an orthodontist had a grand opening of their new location and they invited everybody there. Do you think that they would expect like to have, really anybody sign up and be like, give me braces? Give me some fillings, clean my teeth. I'm going to like put me on the books. No, that's not the mindset. Now we're going to talk about what a good specific goal will be for your launch event, but the mindset shouldn't be failure or like success, because you will be a success. The only time people lose or fail is when they quit. You're always going to win if you don't give up. So we want everyone from the start to know what you're doing. So that then they can follow your story long-term. Follow your story. Next is we want this for an event. You can break the mold. Are you afraid of being misunderstood? This would give you the chance to show who you are. And if you have seen, you all are like, this is new. So you can kind of like set the pace and of what coaching looks like. But here in America, a lot of people do coaching and represent it the same way. And so this would be a good way for people that have that problem where people have done it the same to be like, no, I'm different. This is me. Look at me and how I do this. The next objective is we want to educate them on what you offer. Because people can just make up some assumptions. They just make it up. They, look at some post or they hear something from somebody else. They're like, hey, I wonder, do you see Melanie's doing that new thing? I wonder what that is. What is she doing? And I'm like, oh, I think it's blah, 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 blah. Well, they could be totally off the mark. We want your warm market, the people that know you, that other people are going to be asking about you. You want to educate them on how to represent you in this new business. Next objective, we want to create customers and a referral source. So yeah, we do want these people to become our customers, but we're going to have a lot of patience on when they become our customers. Some might be right away. It's just people's personality. My sister, me, like different personalities are like, yes, I'll try it out now. I want to support you. Let me do this. Other people are like, nope, not going to help you out until they realize they have a problem and you have the solution. and they can't find the solution anywhere else. And so they humble themselves and then come to you. And a referral source, like even those people that may be like, this isn't for me or not for me now or whatever, you want to create such a feeling in them, a storyline to give to them of what you offer, who you are, that they then go out and they're like product evangelists. They're telling other people, oh yeah, you know, my friend, like you want them to, next time they hear their friend say like, oh, my pants are so tight, like I feel so chubby, you know, or like I'm just so weak, or I have no energy, you know, you want them to say, you know what, I should introduce you to my friend Vince. Like he like really, really helps people get results. And it's really cool because he does it online. You don't even have to go anywhere. You want them to refer, and also like be clear about how to refer them. Next objective, I think this one's really important, put them in the center of what you're doing. Make them the hero. And like, so when I told my family that I was coaching, my mom, I remember one night I called her, I'm like, I'm doing really good at this coaching thing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm doing really, really well. She's like, oh yeah, about that. Could you post about that all on like a separate business page? And I had to get off the call and I cried. It really, really hurt me. And what I realized is that here, my family, okay, my family, my closest friends, the people that were closest to me, all of a sudden, to them, it seemed like I had this other life. I'm on these video chats with all these people they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like doing all these things, trying these workouts, these products, doing all the stuff that they don't know, where they knew me. They knew everything I was going through, and now they don't know me. So what would have been better is to have a launch event and say, of course my mom would have showed up to that, you know? Of course my sisters would have showed on, hey, I need you here. This is important to me. This is what I'm doing. I need you here for your support. And then I get to educate them. And then they get to see, oh, I get it. You know, let them be the hero. And then last, can you let Lil out, Liam? She's going to bark. The last one is planning a launch event like this is going to really help you work out the willies and to stop dragging things out. Because I'm telling you, I have seen hundreds of new coaches start, and there's several breeds of coaches. Some just dive in first, like I did, and some kind of go at like a slow and steady pace. And then there's others that think they have to have it perfect up here and like have every little baby step be a big success before they can go to the next step. And so they drag out inviting and talking to their warm market for years. And so this just helps get it all over with. Okay, here are some aha thoughts. When you host a big event like this, like it's concentrated, 50 people, 100 people, whatever, you're going to have a giant follow-up list. And we're going to talk about it later, but the fortune is in the follow-up. The bigger and more people, okay, this is something to think about. The bigger and more people this event is, the more people you invite, it's going to be more stressful. It's going to be more work. And so this isn't like just some like, oh, let's plan a business in our head. This is actually doing it. And so if you make a list of 100 people to invite, I'm going to tell you, like, it's going to take you probably 5 hours if you're going to send them postcards to write those postcards or to sign them. It's going to take you probably 5 or 6 hours to each time you message them, like totally. If you were 100 people, it would take about 5 or 6 hours. So if you're going to go and remind them of the event and get their address, follow up each chunk of time, that's going to take 5 or 6 hours. Now, if you have a list of 25 people, you know, it's going to be faster. You're not going to have as many people come. The payoff won't be as much. So this is just like, I'm going to be real with you guys in all of this. Pick a weekend that's surrounded by a week before and a week after where you can get a lot of work done. So if you have kids, you need to get childcare. Like you need help with the kids. You need to tell somebody, hey, these, you know, maybe it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to have to be messaging people to remind them. And then the next Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever, I'm going to have to message a lot of people again. And then that weekend, you're going to be interacting with them. So you just need to be real with the people in your life or hire a babysitter. And this is no different. So I'm saying that if you did a virtual one and needing that type of kind of like covering your bases is no different than if you host a live one and do that. So you need to, whatever format you choose, you need to treat it with as much, I guess, professionality. Let's see. Oh, and then here's the other thing. If you do a virtual launch, which is kind of what we're going to talk the most about, you can use this the library of everything you create for future prospects. Now, here's your specific goal. The specific outcome goal, like the short term, would be to create 500 PV of sales. Okay, so that's about 6 challenge packs, or PV can come from any type of product. So that could be from Performance Line alone, Shakeology alone. That could be from Beachbody On Demand alone, whatever. But we want the goal to be 500 PV of sales. Now, if you don't hit that, does that mean you're not going to succeed? No, doesn't mean that at all. Let's say you come out of it with 0 PV. Doesn't mean anything. This is long term. Doesn't mean a thing. But you do need to have, I think, a specific goal so that when you go in, I'm going to tell you, my goal for recruiting new coaches from the UK was 50. 50 in the first 2 weeks. I have 7. Am I a loser because I have 7 amazing people? No, not at all. I think I would probably be like going crazy right now if I had 50. But I had to make my goal really big. Like I had to make it so that my action would be really big. Okay, let's talk about the first type, the pluses and minuses. A well-planned party. I believe this is the biggest impact on somebody. If you want to be like, this is who I am, treat me like this is legit, get things going, like boom, a well-planned party would, if you ask me, would do it the most. You're going to stand out from everyone. You act like a boss and they'll show you the respect and be proud of you and refer to you like a boss. There's nothing more powerful than in-person relationships. So letting them taste the food that you bring, hear the music that you like, shake their hand, see what you're wearing to the event, how you carry yourself out, how you treat them when you're there. There's nothing more powerful than that. That's like, those of you that I met last week, I mean, you have to like agree that that's like 10 times more powerful than if we just had done it on here. So what you got from that in person, take that from how this would be for like an in-person thing. You're going to train your prospects how to think of you and how to trust you. You are investing in them, and then they're going to assign a higher value to what you do. So if you get the people saying like, Shakeology is too expensive, or I don't know about this, if you show up and you invest in them and you show them that you are worth a higher value, what you do, and this is just from a party, it changes nothing about the products. The products' value are insanely high. But it's all up here. It's all what they see. Next plus is it's really, really good for social media opportunities. I mean, like you have an in-person event, the pictures are just video are going to be really good. It's going to create, I'm all about FOMO marketing because my sisters told me that I had it. And once I realized that, I'm like, heck yes, fear of missing out. So when you are posting pictures of this event, and then all the people that did not show up, which a lot of them are not going to show up, just being real. I've hosted these. All the ones that didn't show up, you post those pictures, they're like, oh, I made a mistake. I want in. Tell me what to do. Here's the negatives. It's more expensive. I mean, it's going to be more expensive. And it's more stress and more to plan. I mean, you're going to have to worry about food, which the food I would suggest we do like you do kind of like we did last week, Shakeology tasting, make some little recipes, that kind of thing. You're going to have to figure out a location. Things are just going to go kind of wrong. You're going to have to clean. So those are the negatives. All right. The next one is a casual meetup. This one, the biggest overall, is that it's the most relational, if you ask me. This would be, whereas the well-planned party, it's more of like you're giving an experience and you're the hostess. It's an overall like brand touch and experience. This is going to be a casual one. Is going to be more where like I feel like people are going to be interacting with people just a little more maybe. The positives, it's casual, and that puts people at ease. They don't have to dress up, or, you know, not that they would at the other one, but they'll feel more like, oh, okay, here we go. I can just fit this into my day. It's easy to add fun and activity. You could do a live workout, could be in a park. There's more flexibility of where you can have it. It's easy to duplicate. So as you have coaches that join your team and they're like, I want to do something in person, it would be easier to say like, okay, well, here's what I did. Super easy, you know, bump. And it's not too expensive. It's easy also to continue into regular workout meetups. So if you have this kind of casual fitnessy health meetup, then you can just say like, okay, so from now on, once a week, once a month, whatever, we're going to be doing it right here or in this location. You could kind of make up postcards or a calendar or something. So it's easier to kind of continue on that exact thing. You could market very easily to the local masses, make postcards or, you know, flyers or whatever, put them up on bulletin boards at all the coffee shops, all the gyms, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Whereas a more like little, I don't want to say fancier event, more planned out event, you're probably not going to, you're going to want like a more solid head count, because you're going to be investing a little bit more and the space will be more constrained. The negatives are because people are more casual, or because it's more casual, they may not take it as seriously. Like they may just feel like it's kind of like just a fun thing that you're doing, which it is, but they may not really get your really big vision for what you're doing right away. It may take a little bit longer. And then also because if this is kind of like in a public place or just more loose, they may not pay as much attention to what you're offering. So it may be just a little bit more about bonding, and not like they may miss a little bit what the purpose, like what you're actually there for, and the teaching, the educating part. And so then the last type, which any of these can be combined, like you could do a virtual one and an in-person one, or just in person or just virtual, would be a virtual one. This one is the most expansive because it's not local. I mean, you can reach anybody. Positives are you can invite people from all over the world. It's easier to plan, and for sure the least expensive. You can leave the group up after the event and use it as a resource library. So as new products launch, you can add them into there, expose them to your previous list. As you have new prospects, you can also add them in there at any point. You could also have relaunches, or kind of like secret launches in there. They don't have to leave home. You don't have to leave home. You don't have to clean your house, anything like that. Here's the negatives. It's not as easy to make relationships or have an experiential impact, because it's kind of flat, right? It's hard to kind of make that. There are definitely ways with the colors you use. If you go on video, I like to use funny GIFs a lot. So just little things like that, like kind of can add some character and energy to it. People may forget to come or not take it as seriously. So they may be like, yeah, I'm going to come. But then like they take a nap or they go out to eat, or, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of, it's not on their calendar. It's real easy to be like, oops, I forgot. And then the last negative, you might be less invested in the process. Like, you know, I run groups online all the time, and there's times where I really didn't do the best job running the group because I just had a ton of stuff to do. But if I were to have to show up in person and host an event, you can't really wing that. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I'm missing a chat. Okay. Thanks, Brittany. Okay. So here is the pre-event timeline, and I'm going to give you guys all these slides. This is my Energize, guys. It's my second today. Told you I had jet lag. Okay. Pre-event timeline. You can look at these slides later. I'm just going to kind of get it in. You need to pick a type of launch or two. So it's going to be, like I said, in person or virtual or one of each. And they don't have to be like the same day. You know what I'm saying? You could spread it out to where you did, maybe you do the in-person one first. So then people that can't go to it then could do the virtual one. And then you were able to really hype up even more the in-person one. So then when you invited a second round of people to the virtual one, they had even higher view of you. That's what I would do if I was going to do two. And there's no pressure to do two. There's no pressure. You don't, like I said, I launched my business with a Facebook post. I want you all to be better than me though. Second, step 2, pick a date. There's no secret formula to this. I would say virtual would be maybe 2 to 3 weeks out. This doesn't mean don't talk to people or don't invite people or don't post about your business. We're going to talk about that later for 2 to 3 weeks. It just means I really think that it would be best if you sent out like postcards or something in the mail. And so because of that, I think like you probably need a couple days to do that, like 5 to 7 days to, if you ordered them, to get them in, sign them, send them out. You're going to have to do a lot of prep work for this, but if we're all real, we all probably procrastinate. And so don't drag it out too long if you're just going to like do it, most of it, last minute anyway. An in-person event, maybe 3 to 5 weeks, but really like you can pull this off in a short amount of time as you have like will to do so. Step 3, make a list of people to invite. I suggest about 50 for in-person. If you invite about 50, I would say you might get like 10 to 15. And I mean, you can invite more if you want bigger numbers, and you might get 5, I don't know. And then for virtual, I would say 50 to 100 plus. There's not really a cap on virtual. Remember, it's just making sure you like have the time to do it right and to follow up with people. This is going to be an intense time of talking to people. Step 4, you're going to engage with them. You make the list, and then you're going to like go on their social media and comment and look for reasons to reconnect. And ultimately you want to ask pretty quickly for their mailing address. And I have a whole list of scripts of that I'm going to give you like wording on to give you an idea of how you can ask for that. But basically it's like, hey, I'm launching a new coaching business, and it's only for, like friends and family that I really trust. I would love to have you there. I really respect you and would love your feedback on my new venture. Can be something like that. Step 5, this is where the actual behind the scenes work goes on, and you're going to brand the event. And all that means is, is it going to be pink and yellow? Is it going to have kind of like a grittier look or edge? You don't have to like brand your business forever, like what it's going to be forever, and brand this party at the same time. So don't be like, I have to do something that's going to be forever. No, it's just a party, right? So you're just looking for kind of like a color scheme, a feel, that kind of thing. You're going to have to plan the event, whether that's in person or that's creating some videos and content for your Facebook group. That was where the virtual one would be. You want to share teasers. And so I'm going to give you ideas about that later, but it's just going to be lots of different posts on your social media. Like, maybe you like signing postcards, like, or invitations, and just saying like, getting ready to send out invitations to my fit business launch event or opening house or grand opening. I ordered 10 extra invites. If you want one, comment invite below and I'll message you to get your mailing address. So excited about this. Just like teasing things out like that. Like every little step is about this business launch. All right. It's about your health journey, your fitness journey. And you're just going to sneak it in there almost once a day about this launch to try to get, basically you're making your list, but you want to try to get as many people that you didn't expect that weren't on the list to say, hey, I want to invite you. I'm interested. What are you doing? You're going to design invitations. These could be ones that you send out virtually, like literally you design them and then you click attach and send them. Or I suggest you do ones that you get printed out, just like we have overnightprints.com or Vistaprint. Super, super cheap. Postcards are really cheap. I suggest you make that investment to do it because people don't get hard mail anymore. They get bills and advertisements. So to get something really pretty like an invitation, I just think it's very special. It's personal, it's thoughtful, and it's professional. And then a countdown. So like 7 more days, 6 more days, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to want to work with your upline. So that would be me, or a success partner, which is just like finding somebody that's also a coach, like here on this call maybe, or if you want to find somebody in the US. And I would find like maybe even a small group and saying, hey, let's plan our events like for the same weekend or around the same weekend, and just keep each other accountable for where we are in things. Like, I mean, literally me and my success partners, these are just other coaches. They're in Brittany's downline, so they're not under me. They're under her. I just message them every day, text them, and I'm like, hey, I just invited 3 people, like keep accountable. And then the last step is you're going to track your RSVPs and send reminders the day before or the day of the virtual event. And I would tell them in that reminding, like when you remind them, that you want to get their feedback and then set up a day for the next week. So say something like, I just want to remind you the event's tomorrow. I'm so thankful that you're coming. It really means a lot. Like I said, I really respect your opinion. And so what day next week would be good for me to just touch base and kind of get your thoughts, like get your feedback on how everything went and you know, what I'm offering, and then write that down. They said Tuesday. Okay. So guess what? Tuesday. Oh, sorry about this picture of pizza. I meant to switch out all the pictures, and yes, I didn't for the template, but who's hungry? During the event, what are you going to do? Like, these are the main parts. You are going to, just a second. Okay. You are going to, during the event, you're going to welcome them. You're going to share your why. Why are you starting this business? Why are you a health and fitness coach? We did that at the events that we came to. We shared our why, and it's powerful. It's powerful. It makes you go from like, oh, somebody's that's doing some business and has this dream and, you know, wants us to be part of it, to, wow, I really, really, I get it. Like, I connect. Yes, I want to be part of that vision. I want to be part of that dream. And that's what we want. We want to make them the hero by becoming the supporter of the underdog, which is kind of us. We want to also ask them to take action. We'll talk about that in a little bit, what we're going to take action. You're going to mingle during the event. So if you're in person, of course, you're going to welcome everybody. You're going to talk to them. You're going to connect with them, be engaging, be fun, build relationships, be very confident. This is your domain. You're going to walk around proud and excited and happy if it's online. If they post a comment, you are going to go and respond to it, and it's going to not just be like, thanks, cool, yay, good. It's going to be engaging. It's going to ask them a question, maybe use one of those fun gifts or something like that. Maybe connect with them behind the scenes and be like, hey, I saw you were the first one to comment in that post about Shakeology. Thank you so much. Like, I just really appreciate that, because sometimes people are afraid to go first. And by doing that, you really supported me already. So I knew you would be that type of person. Thank you. Present what you offer in this event with confidence. You're going to talk about the products. So that's going to be everything from Energize, Shakeology, Beachbody On Demand, Challenge Packs, Clean Week, Recover, Performance Line, coaching, okay, Portion Fix. You're going to talk about all those things. And guess what? Yeah, you're going to have to learn about them, but just go to YouTube and Google it. I guess you wouldn't Google YouTube. You'd search YouTube. You're going to search it. And there's a whole Shakeology channel. And as you're going to sleep at night, you're just going to watch little YouTube videos and you're going to, okay, I understand this. I'm confident. All right, I got it. And also as far as when you're presenting, if you do in a virtual event, I have videos that I made about some of the products that you may not have tried yet or don't have. So you can use those, or if you're doing it together, you can also share videos if you don't want to make a video about every different product or a post about every product. You can kind of do it together, so it shows, teamwork. You're going to take lots of photos to post on social media. So of course, if this is in person, that should be easy. You probably are going to need to find somebody to volunteer that's in your life to take the photos. They don't have to be professional. They can be on a phone, but get somebody that could do it well and just have them take tons of photos, far off photos, close-up photos, you with a bunch of people, close-ups, video. You want to publicize it and make it big. If it's a virtual event, you still want to do the same thing. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's just going to be things like taking your laptop into a good room with lots of sun, or going to a coffee shop and asking somebody else that's with you to take a selfie, like a picture with your phone, or you do it. And you're just going to have to be creative and show little bits and pieces and details of how, this is. Make it seem really real. And then also, I suggest doing giveaways for taking action during the event. This is what the post-event timeline looks like. Step 1, you're going to follow up with everyone. I don't care if they came or they didn't come. You're going to follow up with them. You're going to ask them, what did you like best about the grand opening or the launch or what I had to offer? Not give me your feedback, because there are jerky people that will say negative things. They will pick something out, say something negative. We're not looking for that. If they do, whatever, brush it off. Who does that, right? Who comes to support someone and then gives negative feedback? If somebody wants to do that, let them be a know-it-all. Just let them be a know-it-all. Maybe they have something that would be helpful. Take it, ingest that. Anything else, put it aside. But that's not the question we want to propose. We want to say, what did you like best? And then we're going to invite them to a challenge group or coaching or clean week. We're going to invite them, or just to purchase a product, invite them to take action based on what their answer was. Step 2, we're going to share the photos that we took on social media. Step 3, celebrate. Keep it going. Like, crank it out. I don't care if it was in person or at the computer. Go out to dinner. Go do something fun. Take more video. Take more photos. Celebrate and tell them, I'm celebrating the success of my launch. Celebrating the grand opening. Like, pull it out. It's like if you do a dance recital or a performance, or were like the star player in a game growing up. Your parents take you out and they celebrate you, or at least you want them to, right? That's something we do. So you take it seriously and celebrate your success of doing this. Step 4, dive right into a social media marketing calendar. So now the launch is done. We're going to go right into what the rest of the team is doing and how they're advertising the rest of their business. So it's going from starting this business, it's going to start, it's starting, it's happening, it just happened, we're celebrating it. And now you're going to see what I do. And so then you just jump right in legit into the marketing calendar, whether you're talking about Clean Week, which in Thrive, our coaching team, that's what we're talking about right now. Then we'll be talking about the challenge groups, and then we'll be marketing the coaching opportunity. Next, forever and ever, you're going to continue to engage and follow up with these people. This is just the beginning. This is just the seed. Whereas most people are planting seeds, they're inviting and that kind of stuff on just social media, we are basically planting like the seed, the bean that Jack grew, put in the ground, that made a big giant beanstalk. We're just growing a magic bean, but it doesn't mean that we know how fast it's going to grow. But I'm telling you, it is a seed, and it's going to grow if we continue to water it by engaging and following up. Last, consider hosting another less publicized launch with a new list. So especially if you have a virtual event, you can just do the exact same thing. Make another list of 50. Maybe you're not like marketing it publicly the same way, but behind the scenes, you can still send more postcards. You can still do the same type of thing. So consider that if it went well and you liked that kind of like once a month all in, once a quarter maybe. Things to remember. This is a big opportunity. Won't be easy. It will feel like work, fun work, but it is legit. Your goal should be 500 PV in sales, but don't get discouraged if it's not immediate. You were going to invite your warm market anyway. Why drag out the process? Why drag it out? Just do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't commit to other things during the week surrounding the launch. Ask for help. This is a high leverage moment. Be very consistent on social media. Just milk this opportunity. Milk it. You can't mess this up. You can only wish that you would have done more, but you can't mess it up. You can't say something wrong. You can't look silly on video. You can't mess it up, okay? So get that out of your mind. Also, remember, you will be teaching your team to do this next. So the more you are like, okay, I'm going to do this, kind of work out the kinks. If I mess up, if I fail, not fail, but if something doesn't feel right, or I wish I would have, let's say, ordered my invitations earlier or sent them out later, or I don't know, whatever, followed up with people better. It's okay, because part of what you're going to be doing to build a team is going to be just teaching your coaches to do a launch event. And guess what? They can just watch this video and then take all the tools, and you're just going to be like their person that's like, okay, yeah, now here's the next thing. So when you're doing this, remember that this isn't just something that's for you to give you your big start, but you want to be engaged in it in a way that's like, okay, I'm going through this so then I can later help others. Here's what I think the call to action should be in your event. I think you should personally ask them when you welcome them, either in person or in a pinned post in a Facebook group. Pinned post is just that first one you put pinned so it always stays at the top. I think you should welcome them, tell them your why they're here, and then ask them to do one of three things. And so this is the call to action for your whole event. One, say, here's three ways that you can support me and give me feedback. So now we're turning the feedback to a very specific thing. It's not just go to my event and criticize me. It's like, no, give me feedback on my products and what I offer by experiencing them. So here's three different ways that you can both support me and offer great feedback as I launch this business. One, you could try something that I offer that you don't currently have a solution for. Just try it out for 30 days. There's a money back guarantee. So we're asking them, out of all the different things you're going to be talking about, to pick three to look at. Number two, you could try something I offer that you do currently have a solution for, but see if you like what I offer better for 30 days, right? Wouldn't it be great to find something that's even better than what you love and try mine for 30 days? If you don't like it, you can literally send it back, go back to what you're doing. Or just say, okay, I'm done, back to what I'm doing. Last is be a referral source. This kind of lets them off the hook, but I'm telling you, referrals can be powerful. And honestly, there might be a chance that they for some reason don't want to be the person that tries out what you're doing, purchase. And they may feel a little guilty about it. And because of that, become a extra great referral source. They're like, okay, this is my part that I'm going to play. You want to tell them these are the three parts you can play. Recommend me when you hear a friend or family that has a problem that I have a solution for. You may want to plant a seed. It's something so next time you hear somebody, a mom or somebody that's really busy or working, tell you that they kind of whine or complain about how they haven't gotten to the gym and they're feeling so out of shape, or they want to lose weight, or their kids aren't eating healthy, or they have a hard time waking up, say, hey, my friend Kelly has a solution for you. She's really good at helping people with at-home workouts. She's got this superfood smoothie thing that has all these adaptogenic, these herbs, and I don't know, whatever it is, this stuff that really helps people with their energy and get rid of their sugar cravings. Let me introduce you to her. And so this is just a little bit more about that presentation. You're going to ask them to learn about 3 things. Welcome. If you're doing it in a virtual group, I suggest you do, if you're doing it in person, samples and demos of what it is. Like, here's Shakeology, here's Beachbody On Demand. Come over to maybe little stations or something that people could go to, and they could check out Beachbody On Demand. You could show them how they find their perfect program. Maybe you would have a questionnaire that they could fill out either in person or virtually. I didn't think about that when I made this thing, but I think that would be really, really good. Like either an online form or an in-person one where they fill it out, and maybe that's how they win a prize. But ask them about their fitness goals, how they're doing right now, how their eating habits are, if they have a family health history of any diseases like thyroid disease or adrenal fatigue, high cholesterol, that kind of thing. But then post, if you're doing a virtual one per post, have each product that we offer have a video and then a post that says who it's for, what the key features are, the problems it solves, and why it's the best, like why it's better than whatever else. Like Energize, the reason it's the best is a pre-workout, but it doesn't have any food coloring or fillers or artificial anything in it. Even though it's bright yellow, that's just from fruit extract, like the skin is where quercetin comes from. And so I think that's pretty crazy, but that's a feature and why I also believe that it makes it the best, because I've never seen a pre-workout that doesn't have a bunch of crud in it. And with your presentation, don't be afraid to ask for help, videos from your friends or teammates, or if it's in person, get family members, get friends involved, kind of train them on what to do. Giveaways are a really good way to incentivize people to show up and also to get them to engage and to actually look at the presentations. So here's some ideas. Ask them to do something. Here's what you could ask them to do. You could ask them to introduce you to 5 people. I actually think that would be really, really good. So like in a 3-way message on Facebook, or an email, say like, hey, hey, Sarah Lynn, or, actually it'd be somebody else. It'd be, hey, Caitlin, I wanted to introduce you to my friend Ash. She's a health and fitness coach. She's launching this new business. She has a lot of incredible tools to offer. I thought you guys I know you're into health and fitness too. I thought you guys might hit it off or something like that. Give them an idea of what to say. Could be that a good way to get them entered into a contest for a giveaway would be that they watch 3 videos. They comment in your welcome post, and then they make a comment in 3 different product or service videos to show that they watch them. Maybe they answer a question and they have to say like the thing they liked most about the product or the video. Or maybe they make a post. Maybe you make like a graphic that's like an invitation that they would post on their wall, or that they would share the one you do on your wall. They go and they click share, and they have to share it to all of their friend lists. So now it goes, and so maybe this is one of the ones like where you invite everybody, and they just have to comment like, send me an invite or something like that, or tell me more. Comment, tell me more if you want more. But then you incentivize them with a gift by they go click share, and they share it with all their friends. And so literally that can make it be to where, you could multiply who's invited or who sees this without you having to do any more work by like a ton. What I would suggest for a giveaway, it's Clean Week, because it comes with a meal plan and the workouts. That part's free. And then the 7 days of Shakeology, that would basically be the part that you would purchase. You guys don't have Daily Sunshine, so that would be off the thing. Daily or Energize samplers, they're ones that come in little packs. Or you could purchase a couple things, like you could purchase some Shakeology, some Energize, maybe some Recover, and you could make your own little kit, like maybe even put it in a little pretty box or something like that, and it would be your own sample kit, and they would win that. Maybe if you saw like cheap headbands, you could put that in there too. You could also sell this in your group. Like you could do something like 7 days of Shakeology, and 3 samplers of Energize and sell it for like $35 or something like that, as just a kind of sampler kit for people that weren't ready to commit all the way to something. And then I also would suggest doing a public giveaway. So this means on your social media, which you need to always be growing, public giveaway on your feed to celebrate the launch. So this could be something like, to celebrate the launch of my new business, I'm doing a giveaway. To enter, share this post and comment clean week below for the chance to win my, a whole clean week kit, including 7 days of workouts, meal plans, and a superfood smoothie. So again, getting the word out, but this is doing it like anybody can see it. All right, we are getting close, guys. So make sure if you have any questions, you've kind of got them ready. No matter how this event seems to go, and I don't know, guys, like I have my first coach right now. She's doing her event, like the first one, with using this format online, and she's getting great response. Like people are really excited for her, really, really positive. And I really believe it's because she's bringing them and she's putting them in the center. She's making them the hero. But what I want you to remember is that the fortune is in the follow-up. And so while I think it's huge to leverage events like this, I think part of the reason is you're going to get faster results, but I think part of the reason is because all eyes are on you now. So whereas you were obscure and just somebody doing something, now you've put the eyes on you and you have a chance to like present your story. They will watch you change. If you're willing to change and you're willing to work hard, they get to watch you change on social media and in the way that you continue to follow up with them. And so these are just some statistics from the National Sales Executive Association. 48% of salespeople never even follow up with a prospect. And I can tell you from leading a team of coaches, this is true. 48% of my team does not follow up with people that they invited. And they can't figure out why they don't have great success. It's because they just don't follow up with them. Let's look at these ones. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. That's like the first invite or point where they see that they could, be part of. Only 2%. 3% on the second, 5% on the third contact, 10% on the fourth. But look at this, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. That is huge, 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 huge. And it's so hard to like trust the future and the compound effect that I can tell you that I am so thankful for all the people that I met or introduced myself to or invited or had in a free group 3 years ago, because they're the people that right now are like, okay, I'm finally ready. And I'm thinking, yeah, finally ready. I forgot about you. Like I forgot that I even invited you, because when I started, I didn't understand all of this. And so this is pretty cool. I'm really kind of excited about this. So remember, 80% on the 5th to 12th contact. Look at this. From just having this launch event and doing it right all the way through, look, we're going to have 4 contacts. So the first one's going to be when we ask for their mailing address. The second one is going to be when we remind them, hey, don't forget the event's tomorrow. Can't wait to see you. When next week would be a good time to touch base and just get your feedback on how it went. Number 3, we're going to engage with them during the event. That's our third point of direct contact. Hey, thanks for coming. So excited that you're here. Here's how it is. Welcome. Da, 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 da. If it's on a virtual one, commenting when they comment, welcoming them in, tagging them in different posts. Number 4, we're following up after the event. We're thanking them for coming. We're inviting them to join a group or coaching or use a product. That's 4 contacts. How awesome is that? Just from this one event. So that means the rest of your coaching journey, it's up to you to create those next, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th contact or follow-up. So a follow-up is like re-inviting to someone. A contact might be like, hey, just want to check in how you're doing, or I've got this clean week group. I know you weren't ready for a challenge group or coaching, or last month wasn't good. what about this? Is this going to be better? Or, hey, you told me during my grand opening that you were wanting to lose 5 to 10 pounds, or you were wanting to get more energy, but you were really busy, or you were doing the gym. I wanted to see, how's the gym going? That's another point of contact. So maybe it will be, you never know which of these points of contact, but I just feel like this is kind of powerful, using the statistics and just seeing that it's going to be a very natural for contacts, natural, but work. You're going to have to do the time. And then, so lastly, this is my call to action for you all for attending this call. Now, none of the old coach stuff applies to you, so don't look at that far left one. But for all of you new coaches, this is going to be what I want you to do this weekend. I want you to tell me what kind of launch event you want to do. I want you to set a date. You're going to have to talk to your people in your life. Like, they're going to have to be okay with this date. Set a date. And I want you to make your invite list of 50 to 100 or more. It's up to you. And if you're like, I can't think of 50 people. First of all, I bet you have more than 50 friends on social media. Just invite them. Even if you're like scared of them, or you think they don't like you, or they're too good for you, or whatever, doesn't matter. You can't prejudge, any people. I say aim high, aim for the people you're intimidated by, put them on the list. So those are the things you're going to do. Talk to me, tell me where you are on things, what you want to do, set a date, tell me the date. If you're watching this recording and I'm not your coach, tell your coach this stuff, and then make that list. And then for accountability, take a picture or show me the list or whatever. And then for everybody also, I want you to get a success partner. And this could be, I think more than 3 is too much, because then if one person kind of goes MIA, it's easy for them to just disappear and people let them go. But if there's only 2 or 3 of you and one of you goes kind of missing, isn't showing up, then it's like the other 2 can say, hey, what are you doing? So 2 or 3, groups of 2 or 3. And if somebody already asked you, like, let's say, Jade and, Karis are in a group, and then Sarah Lynn goes to Karis and was like, hey, will you be my success partner too? Like, it's okay to have multiple, because really when you check in, you're just going to be saying like, all right, hey guys, I made my list of 50 or 100. Here it is. Take a picture of it. And so if you had 2 success partners, you just would copy and paste and send the same thing. I have 2 groups that I'm doing that with right now, each day. But that is it. Oh my gosh, I kept it at 1 hour and 2 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. What questions do you guys have? I know that's a lot. Oh, wait, I got one more thing to show you. But there's more. I made some stuff for you guys. All right. Because I know it can get scary in the detail, I made a step-by-step list for this launch. So it's not just like the slides. It's like, make a list of 50 people, pick a list, design a postcard. And then I have things like what you can say, literally, to them when you invite them to get their, hey, like here, number 5, message or call or talk to everyone on your list and ask them for their mailing address. Say something like, hey, can I get your mailing address? I'm doing a virtual launch event for my health coaching business, and it would mean a lot for you to check out what I'm doing and offering. I really respect you and would love your feedback. And it's kind of a scary, vulnerable thing to start into something big like this, so I'd really appreciate your support. I'm going to try to pop invites in the mail this weekend, so give a deadline. So if you can just message me back with your mailing address, then it would be awesome. All right, there you go. So I've got all different types of little scripts that you can tweak to make your own, but always be brave in them. I've got like how to follow up, what to post in the actual group, how to make notes of everything. And then what I also did is I made a template. If you're going to do a virtual launch, I made a template in Canva. So there's a link right here to the template. So you can literally click on it and this little picture of me is going to show up. You don't have to use this if this isn't your style. It's just to give you a starting point. If you did want to use this, you just click around in Canva and you would change your name, your dates, upload and drag your picture in there. I also put a bunch of different, in Facebook groups, you can create polls. So just like where you go into post or upload a photo, you can push an option that says make a poll, and it lets them click on it and kind of vote. And so I made a whole bunch of different voting things that I thought would be really good. So as people are adding themselves to the group, so they could get added to the group really early on, like a week early. And then you can start to build a relationship with them in the group before you actually put your main posts up. So in this, it's kind of like a public questionnaire. So you could really get an idea of how you're going to talk to them and invite them later. So different ones like, what's your biggest obstacle in rocking your nutrition and fitness? Time, money, motivation, accountability, and support. I don't know what to do, illness or injury. So you can look and like all of these that you post, it's basically like a layup for follow-up. Hey, I saw in the group last week, you said your biggest obstacle in nutrition and fitness was accountability and that you didn't know what to do. I think you would love my challenge group because that's what it's all about. It's literally a plan. Like, do this workout this day, do this workout this day, drink this, eat this. And then we have this tracker app with accountability. If I sent you more information, would you look at it? So it just, Here, one about which of these diseases or health struggles seems to be genetic in your family. If someone says diabetes, you can talk about how Shakeology helps stabilize and lower blood sugar. If they say there's obesity, you can go weight loss angle. If they say there's heart disease or high cholesterol, you can tell how in American studies, Shakeology was clinically proven to help lower cholesterol just with the plant power that it offers. So if they say they have food intolerances, I'm guaranteeing you if they have a bunch of food intolerances, they assume that Shakeology has all this stuff in it because they have read a lot of labels and come up lacking, because that was me. So if they see this, you can be like, hey, I saw you have all these food intolerances. Or I should put vegan on there. That would be a good one. And I think you would love Shakeology because it's free from all of those different things you said. And then where is this? Lastly, I made like for some reason it didn't show up there. Let me see what shows up. I made like I'm calling them flashcards. Can you guys see this Canva one now? Did it switch or no? Sometimes it doesn't switch. Does it look like a bunch of different posts right now? Yeah. Okay. So this is another just template. And so the Word document that I'm going to give you has a link to this template. So what you're going to do is you're going to, when you get in there, you can go to File, make a copy right here. You'll make a copy and then you'll just put like your name. And so you can click around and you can swap out the pictures, you can change, but I just did like different things just to give you a head start and some ideas. This could be like a public social media post, your announcement. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm announcing like the grand opening of my fit boutiques, wellness studio, fitness business, whatever angle you want to go at is like feels authentic to you. I would love for all of you to attend. I'm putting together my invite list now. If you'd like to be on it, just reach out or comment below or let me know. I'm going to be offering a wide variety of fitness and nutrition tools and services. And then as you get a little closer, maybe 7 days out, I just made like a countdown. So these are me, and you guys, I'm going to tell you, these are good pictures. They're good pictures. So if you're like, I don't have good pictures, the ones of you showed up at the workshop, you do have good pictures. But if you want more good pictures, these took 3 years for me to kind of accumulate, but you might want to just take a day, change your outfits a bunch, get in the sun, and take some good pictures, like if you don't feel like you have enough. So this is just a countdown. So I would post this both in my virtual group and on all my social media every day, the last day. I don't care if it's annoying. We don't want to be obscure. We don't want people to forget. You're doing this for one time, right? One time, then you're done. So you don't care if it's annoying. You want to be on the radar, on the map. So they're paying attention to you forevermore. 2 more days, 1 more day. And then these are like little flashcards. So these are, you can kind of use them. So just prompts like use subtle product placement. Don't mention the product. See if people ask and then invite them to the launch. So people might ask, what's in those cups the kids have? Well, you guys don't have Daily Sunshine. Or maybe you make a beautiful smoothie, or you make some type of really yummy recipe and it's from Clean Week or it's from Fixate. And they're like, what's the recipe? That looks so good. Like treats. People really like treats. So if you made like a clean treat recipe from Fixate or one of the meal plans, what's that recipe? What is that from? I don't know why I'm acting like they would say it like a grandma, but then you would say, oh, it's from the meal plan from one of the nutrition systems that I'm going to be offering. I would love for you to learn more about what I'm doing. Like, can I send you an invite to my virtual launch? What's your mailing address? Let me go get the recipe for you. You give them the free value with the recipe, but by getting them to ask you a question, you just put that invite in there. Once you ask for their mailing address, they're invited. Make your new lifestyle and business look fun. So fitness and nutrition, just make it look fun. You're not going to be a know-it-all. You just want to market the fun. Share your why. How is your life changing because of this? I know this is just your beginning, but you got to have vision with it. Why are you launching this business? What motivates you? When you talk like this, you want to speak to your ideal coach. You don't want to just be, if you don't have kids, right? And you work and your vision is to make a greater impact on people's lives and create lifestyle freedom and travel more. You don't want to talk to like moms that have a bunch of kids. Like, it's not that you can't reach them. It's that you want to just speak to your person, like you specifically. And you probably will still get, moms, because all moms used to not be moms. But so this was just kind of like me showing me before coaching, super overwhelmed, 2 babies. Now here's my 2 babies. They're with me sitting on my lap while I work, kind of painting that virtual or that visual. Post a before and after. If you have your own before and after, like let's say you see results in 1 week, post your own. If not, use somebody from the teams. Those of you that were there met Lindsay. I don't think we showed you though Lindsay's results. So this is Lindsay's results. Like the top picture is when Lindsay came to me, which is pretty powerful. You guys heard stories, but you didn't really get to see pictures. So this is her, and this is her like like 2 months later or something. She actually won $500 in the Beachbody Challenge. So results like this really get people's attention. Curiosity marketing at its best. So when you make Shakeology like this, I made vanilla Shakeology with strawberries and another batch with blueberries and another batch with just nothing. And I kind of layered them and people like loved it. I called it like a unicorn smoothie or something. People are like, what's the recipe? I'm like, you dummies. Like when I talked about Shakeology and it was in a cup, like a Shakeology cup, you didn't want to know. Now I put some berries in it and layered it and you think it's the best thing on earth. So you got to use curiosity marketing, not spell it out. Your health and fitness coach should start adding value about fitness and nutrition. Teach them something new. Show them something interesting. And if you're like, I don't know what to say, just check out the Beachbody On Demand blog. There's a ton of great ideas there. Really, if you're going to send out paper invites, really milk that experience. Get people's opinion on the design or the color scheme. Post a picture of you dropping them off at the post office, putting stamps on them. This is a picture of Lindsay. When I sent her the invite, she already earned the Costa Rica trip. So she posted this on her social media. So like if somebody had done that, or even ask your people that you send an invite, be like, hey, can you just take a picture of yourself with the invite? I'm going to do something fun with it. Can you send a picture of you when you get the invite? Maybe ask some people that, and then you can also share that on your social media and be like, Susie got her invite. She's so excited to come to my launch. I've got 5 more to send out. If you want one, let me know. Are you on a team meeting with me with this, talking shop or planning the launch? Take a picture like this. Show them how real this thing that you're doing is. This would be another one. Your invites just came in the mail. Let your followers know how excited you are. Again, we're just milking out everything. Did you get a text or a message from somebody saying, hey, I got your thing. I'm so excited. Or maybe you already have a client that's using Beachbody On Demand, or they try Shakeology and they love it and they send you a message or a text. Share it. Share what somebody said. Share a testimony. And then I made this post today, but audience polls are a really good way to get interest and engagement. So all those polls that I did on that spreadsheet or that document, you could use those publicly too. But things like, which dress should I wear to my event? Or even if it's a virtual one, you could say like, hey, I'm about to do a bunch of videos for my virtual launch event. Which shirt should I wear? How should I do my hair? What color lipstick? I don't know. Where should I go? Which photo should I use as the header in my group? Which event invite design? And then, like I said, you could ask them about their health needs. So all of this I'm going to be giving you guys to use, so that you should be pretty darn equipped. And then I am here for you. So each step of the way, if you get to a point you're like, all right, I think I'm going to need some hand holding next, you can just tell me and we can set up a one-on-one call, or if you are launching at the same time as a success partner, then we can do like a little group call too. So, okay, guys, what questions do you have? And thank you all for showing up. I'm really proud of you.
Have we got any news on those photos?
Yes, the news is that they're all on my phone and on the camera, and I spent all day doing this presentation. So I need to figure out, I've been trying to sync them the whole time. And so it's just too slow. It's just too slow. So I need to figure out a faster way to sync them. And I'm guessing, I have, how many of you guys have, how many of you all have, what's it called? iPhone, sorry. Anybody? Karis? Because I don't know if I can, how do I do this? If I can share with you, like I can invite people. Do you have like a MAC address? I mean, I don't think I can send it on your phone, but I could try.
WhatsApp, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, let's start a WhatsApp group.
Oh, I don't know. What's that?
WhatsApp.
I don't know what that is.
It's like text messaging, but it uses Wi-Fi.
Okay, because on iPhones, like I have an album, and because they're all on my phone, for some reason it just can sync like that to anybody that has like a Mac account, like an iOS account. So that's what I did with like the girls that traveled with me. But so now that I will tell you this, Vince, okay? Now that I'm home, and because yesterday was my first day home, now that I have finished all of this prep, this is my next thing because I want you guys to use the picture. So my next, like when I started syncing them last Thursday, it had, I think, 1,650 to sync, and now there's 1,582. So it's going very, very slowly. So I've just got to figure out something else. But this will be my main focus now, because I want you guys to use this. Sorry, that was a long explanation. I got it covered. Be patient, but I got it covered. What else, guys?
Do you sort of drop it into conversation that you're like independent Beachbody coach, or do people, if people ever, I suppose, wondered or asked you like, oh, so you're actually trying to sell me something? I thought, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm not explaining it very well.
I do know what you mean. You know, I'm gonna get Brittany's input on this too, because she's just been a coach longer than I have. So like, she was a coach before everybody in America knew what Beachbody is. Like, now everybody in America knows what it is. Nobody in the UK really like knows it. Like, you guys have like a long time before you get to the point where we are in the UK or here, where people are like, oh, I know what that is. And they've kind of got these, they make up these preconceived notions.
Yeah.
People in the US have either never used it and so, but they have preconceived notions, or they have used it and they did get results, but they gave up. And then they're like, oh, well, I thought that when I gave up, I was still supposed to get results forever. So then they like go on to something else, and then long term they come back because they're like, okay, that was the only thing that really actually worked without starving myself. You know, I think, well, first I'll say, you're going to have to train your mind to be like a business entrepreneur mindset, and it's very different. And so I would suggest that you read a lot or listen to a lot of books about just like success, business, entrepreneurship, even like sales and things, because the fact of the matter is, when you are your own boss, it doesn't matter. Like, if Kelly goes, she's a lawyer, if she goes into practice for herself, she now becomes, her job now is to market her business. It's to be a manager and to be a marketer and to get new people in. So, you know, if you would feel like salesy or icky being a lawyer or a dentist or a hairstylist and having to drum up business, like, it should be no different from this. It has nothing to do with skill. Has nothing ever has anything to do with skill or value. It all has to do with your network. So Sam's a nurse, and every single nursing job he's gotten has not been because of his resume, his application, or his skill. It's because he either walked into a hospital, like, so there were people in his class that were like the star students. They organized study groups. They were like way better at nursing than he is. He would say this, okay? But they struggled to get a job because they did it the regular way, the way that society says. What he did is he walked in the hospital and he's like, can I talk to the nurse manager? I just want to introduce myself. And he came in a suit. Where they came in frumpy clothes, like they were a student. He came in a suit. He put his resume in a leather, it was like a faux leather, like portfolio. And he said, I want to introduce myself. You know, here's my resume. Could you give me a tour of the hospital? He got hired. He got 4 job offers. That's 3. He got 4 job offers. Sometime this week, we found out from one of my challengers, like my clients, health and fitness people. We ran into her at a restaurant. She was telling us about this new nursing job she got where she gets paid $80,000 a year and she gets to work from home. And we were like, hey, can you hook us up? Can you tell us more about that? If Sam's going to be a nurse, I'd rather him get to work from home on his own schedule and make $30,000 more. So he called her up. He's going to go shadow her and then introduce himself to her boss and try to get a job there. So it's like, even though you would never think of a nurse as being a salesperson, he's having to sell himself. Like he's having to go out there and do it. So I think that honestly, it's just up here. Like it's no different than any other thing. And so what I think I can tell just already, Karis, like your biggest obstacle is going to be your doubt. And so the best thing that you can do, and I would have been the same way, but I came in as a client, like I came in just wanting to get results. And so it was my belief in the results and in the products, which made me think, I don't care what anybody has to say, this works. And then I was like, I believe in myself. But I still was scared of people. So the best thing you can do is get out that program and follow it every single day and to have tunnel vision. And maybe that means you put your launch off. I still think you should have a date, but maybe the date is like after, I don't know, 4 weeks or something like that. I still think you should have a date, but I think it's like you do not cheat on the meal plan. You work out every single day. You lift as heavy as you can. You try Energize so that you're working hard. Because I have no doubt if you do that and you just share your journey, like this is just my journey. I'm not trying to get anything from people, that you'll have more value in what you do. And it's long-term because, yeah, we sell a service and we sell products, but it's no different. It's like I said, it's no different than anything else. It's just the fact that long-term you are going to see such tremendous life change. And I know you said in your job right now that that's what you struggle with is you don't get to see that hands-on like change and interaction. You're going to get that to a degree that it becomes like, whoa, why are these people telling me these things? Like, or I can't believe I'm helping people this much. But I guess it's like, if you really want that impact and you really want that lifestyle change for you and you really want to help people, like really, really help people, you have to be willing to sacrifice your social status for a while. If that makes sense. And so, Brittany, what is kind of like your input on like say, I don't say I'm a Beachbody coach until I do a presentation, because I just like, I look at myself as somebody, as an independent coach that has found tools that I don't find, there's nothing else in this realm that I believe in more. And so as a coach, this is the company that I'm an affiliate for, basically. I use their tools. So that's kind of how I see it. But
I think, in my experience, people are buying into you. People are buying into me before they're buying into a company or a product anyway. So kind of like what Ashley was saying, like, start that program, follow that calendar, do it to the degree where you are so proud of your commitment that without a doubt, you just have this blind faith, without a doubt, when this program is done, I'm going to have such amazing results. People are going to have no opportunity but to ask what I'm doing. Yeah. And so then it really doesn't matter who's the company that's packaging up the stuff. They just want to know what you're doing, and they need to know that it works. And so that's the hard part, because like you're in the in-between right now. It's like the only way for them to know it works is by us doing it and showing that it works, and that can be the vulnerable piece of this journey. But yeah, I think they won't buy into Beachbody. Like eventually they'll be diehard Shakeology fans. Eventually they'll be so loyal to Shakeology. But in the beginning, they don't really care who makes the stuff. They just want to know what it is that you're doing because they're watching your journey. So I'm with Ashley. Like a lot of times I describe the things that I do. And I think that's something that a lot of new coaches kind of fall into a trap with. They'll use language that people aren't unfamiliar with. They'll say things like, oh, I just finished my 21-day fixed workout. And to the average person looking on social media, they don't know what 21-day fix is. Or they'll say, oh, I just finished my T25 workout, or I'm getting ready to use my Portion Fix containers. To the average person, that means absolutely nothing. And so it's sort of like they're name dropping all these Beachbody terms, this Beachbody lingo that it just doesn't relate to anybody. So instead of doing that, I always tell people just to describe the program that you're doing, describe the meal plan that you're following, describe Shakeology as a superfood smoothie. Not that you have to be afraid to use those terms, it's just coming down to the fact that you want it to sort of trigger in their brain instead of them just saying, oh, I don't know what that is, so it doesn't pertain to me. You know what I mean? So I am the same way. I do say that I'm a Beachbody coach, you know, like in posts or whatever, but I'm not throwing tons of Beachbody buzzwords out all the time because it's just not as relatable. The only people that's relatable to are other coaches and people who have been customers for a long time, you know? So I say, just sort of, I think I call it like an elevator speech. I don't know if that sort of term rings a bell for you, but it's sort of like when people ask you what you do or what you offer, like that's going to take a little bit of practice, you know, like figuring out, okay, what is it that I do? Or what is it that I'm working towards personally? And I think it's a little awkward at first because you're trying to find the words to really describe what it is that you do or what it is that you're committed to. So I would say just as people are asking you, like just listen to what you say and say, okay, yeah, that sounded good. I really liked the way that sounded. I felt comfortable with that. And as silly as it might sound, like jot that phrase down in your phone and sort of it's almost like you're building a personal mission statement or you're building like a personal motto because people are going to ask you that all the time. And I think you're more effective when you can explain what it is that you're doing in layman's terms, but in a way that describes something that doesn't exclude them, you know, like makes them feel like they're already on the outside because they're not familiar with a term that you use. So I know that's kind of long-winded, but I would just say get comfortable describing what it is that you're doing and showing people what it is that you're doing. And it's not that you're hiding the fact that you're a Beachbody coach. It's just in order to have the best connection with them and continue on in the conversation, a lot of times I find that you have to describe the products that you're using, not just say, oh, I'm doing T25 or, oh, I'm doing a Beachbody program, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I remember people being like, so what do you do? And I'm like, like, especially when you're in the beginning, because in the beginning is all selling. It's all prospecting and trying to sell. Like you don't have that, oh, I help somebody, you know, and even like when you are helping someone, sometimes it feels like, wait, am I helping them? Like, am I supposed to be moving their arms? We equip them with everything they need. But I mean, things like, I think like whatever you could even say like, I'm a life coach that specializes in fitness and nutrition focus. Like transforming people's lives, like, or like mental, you know, their mental well-being through like starting with fitness and nutrition. Or like Vince might want to say something like, I'm an online fitness coach that helps people achieve better results with, you know, customized at-home workouts and meal plans, you know, like something kind of like depending on what your angle is and who you're going to help. So I would say maybe just jot down a couple little sayings. I am, and see which one kind of rolls off the tongue the best. And if they're like, are you with Beachbody or you do something like that? Then I would probably just like, if it was me, I'd just be like, you know, absolutely. Like I coach in my own way and help. I focus on helping busy women, but what I found is that the tools that Beachbody offered were the best, the highest quality, and gave the best results. And so those are the tools that I do use to help my clients. So almost like setting them as like the supplier of the tools. And I think Susan said this in like one of, maybe at the London one. She said that her coach, Helen, who's my coach, she is a fitness professional, like really knowledgeable in nutrition, but also like the highest level of yoga certification. Susan went to Helen and said, hey, will you just coach me? Like, just give me a meal plan, tell me what to do, workouts. And Helen said, yeah, like I do. I use this challenge pack. I use these tools. And she's like, no, I don't want that. I just want you to tell me what to do and to coach me. And she goes, okay, it's going to be $150 to coach you, or you can do the challenge pack and get 30 days of Shakeology, years of this and this. And I'll coach you for free for $160. And she's like, wait, so for a $10 difference, I can get you and all of that. So it's kind of having that mindset of like, they get you, you sell you, but then the way you help them, because honestly, like you do not want to get into the business of writing meal plans and workout programs. Like it's a big waste and a time suck, and people won't follow them. Anybody have any other questions?
It's not like launch related, but do you know when what it's called, the children's shake will be available?
The what?
Ruben's Troubled Mind. You know the children's shake? What's it called?
Oh, the
Sunrise?
Daily Sunshine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brittany, do you have any I feel like you just have seen like the Canada launch. Do you have any idea of like how they, so we launched Canada after the US, and they don't have as many products either. And it's just because they have to get them all like approved by like the drug administration or food and drug administration or whatever, the customs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I honestly haven't heard much on the timeline, but I bet we'll hear more like in the next month or two on what we can expect, because I'm sure that's a common question we're all kind of wondering.
It's new to the US, like really new. So they're probably seeing how it does here before they increase production. That's my thought.
Yeah, right.
But some of them are on that price list you sent out earlier.
Daily Sunshine was?
I know Recover and things like that aren't available yet.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Recover is. Is there another one?
Let me have a look.
So from what I could see really quickly, it's like Shakeology and certain flavors, the Portion Fix and the workout programs, and then Energize and Recover. And I'll tell you guys, like
Recharge.
Recharge and creatine and hydrate. When I started, just to kind of give you guys, because it does stink that you have a little less, but when I started as a coach 3 years ago, we only had vegan chocolate Shakeology and vegan strawberry, I think. 2 flavors of vegan Shakeology. There was just chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla regular Shakeology and greenberry, but nobody gets that, so we don't talk about it. There was no Beachbody On Demand. It was just DVDs, and they were like way more expensive, like $205 for one DVD set. There was no Daily Sunshine. There was no Performance line, so no Energize, no Recover. And at one point, so here's the thing.
No Boost weren't out yet.
Yeah, so we didn't have any of that. So all the things that you don't have, I didn't have when I started. Brittany didn't have when she started. The founding US coaches, they didn't have Shakeology. They didn't have On Demand. They only had workout programs, and they're like, there's a bunch of millionaires.
They didn't even have challenge packs.
Yeah. They didn't have challenge packs. And they said that to get a cycle bonus, like they had to sell like 25 fitness programs or something just to get like one cycle. It was like a lot harder. And yet they just didn't give up, and they stuck in it. And they're all millionaires, the one that didn't, because they just rode the wave and they made it work, and they were creative in what they had, and they didn't have a limiting mindset. And so, I don't know what the rollout is on that, but I can tell you that it will happen, and that you're not, just because it seems like you have less. It's really not. Sometimes it's like people talk about what they talk about. So like you can't talk about it all the time, if that makes sense. You kind of have to pick your niche anyway. Any other questions? There's I'm gonna show you guys something. I know you're going to come into objections, which is super, super normal. It's normal, one, because that's just how this business goes. I mean, like, I will invite hundreds of people, and I will get tons of people that ignore me, and objections and no's and whatever. It's just normal. People don't know. it's just whatever. But then also you're bringing something totally new. And I was listening to a book today about all of the big people that we, like celebrities and huge people in business, and they all failed at first, and people rejected what they had to offer at first because it was new. It's just people are going to do that. And so being a founding coach is both having the leverage and like the upper hand in long-term success. You have huge leverage in long-term success, and even in short-term, if you want to push and like get to diamond, you really do. It's going to take a lot of work, but you really have an upper hand. But the drawback is you've got something new, and people are, sometimes people are a little bit like freaked out by new stuff, and that's okay. Okay. So what I wanted to show you is I have a website. I think I put this in the email that I gave you. But it's lovelearnthrive.com/invites. And there's like a step that talks about objections, and a ton of different things you can look at there. I've got a bunch of videos on here. All about inviting. There's ones on objections. So you might want to just kind of check some of this out. But I would say the number one thing you guys need to do right now, the business and all of this launch stuff and all of these incentives and everything like that, that's up to you. That's up to you. The number one thing you need to do is go 100% in with your fitness and health journey, and read personal development every single day. Like, that's the number one thing you need to do. Because without that, then you're a salesperson. Bye, Sarah Lynn. Brittany, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that was awesome. I completely agree with you. I think that's the first things first, so that way you can feel genuine and authentic in the invites and in the launch events and in the conversations that you start to have.
Yeah, I think it flows. I had a coach message me today or yesterday, and she was like, I don't feel like I have anything to talk about anymore. It just feels forced. Like it's a lot, like talking to people, she like pouring into people's lives is a lot of work. And I realized like she's pouring from an empty cup. Like, she's not doing her workouts. She's not following a meal plan, and she's not reading personal development every day. And me telling her to do that, it sounds like too easy. It sounds silly. But when you do those things, you will never run out of things to talk about. Like, you just won't run out of things to talk about, because those three things like will change everything for you, and you'll be really inspired. So that's kind of the basics of all of it, is do the first things first. Anything else before we go? We try to keep it an hour, but I want to 100% be there for you guys. So you can always message me, but I want to make sure that I make time when we're on a call for you all to talk.
Yeah, Sarah Lynn was just on about us having a meet-up at some point.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we ask you how much that hayloft cost for a couple of days?
Yeah, no. Let me look at
for a few of us.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Okay, I found it on Airbnb. I think so. I thought that our events went so well. Like, I enjoyed them so much that I'm going to start doing them locally. I don't know if it's going to be once a month or every other month for my local coaches, which I don't have a ton of local coaches. Most of them are other places. But anyway, I want to thank you all, because I thought I was so excited about it. that I actually think them seeing me with you all gave them that fear of missing out. They're like, wait, she's our Ashley. Wait, I took her for granted and now you have her and I want her back. So I got like messages like, okay, I'm ready to work. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm going to start doing that with them. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was called the Hayloft. Let's see if it's here.
It just had everything you'd need really for like a stay over or.
I know. And I'm trying to, actually here it is. So we can just look right here. So it's on Airbnb. Did you guys know, this is totally random, on Airbnb, this might actually, okay, so I want to have a call with you guys sometime to teach us, and maybe this is something that you all could do together to teach our whole US Canada team about LinkedIn, because I keep hearing that LinkedIn is like something that is used a lot over there, and it's just not over here. So I really think that could be like this big kind of cutting edge prospecting tool for the UK. Okay, so here it is, Vince. It sleeps 8 people. And let's see. So it looks like it's $245 a night.
Yes, that's about £200 a night. So
yeah, it's showing as 180 on the Airbnb for UK.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 180 quid.
Oh, okay.
Which
Yeah, so we got
actually split between people isn't half bad.
Yeah, exactly. And so like it wasn't bad at all when when you split it, if you split it between 8 people. Yeah. So
we could do it off bedrooms, wouldn't you? 3 bedrooms, even though it sleeps 8 people, you're not going to stick anyone on the sofa.
So there was
Like 60
there were 3 bedrooms with 2 beds.
Yeah.
And then there was a loft. I don't know if you saw it up there, and it had a futon that 2 people could sleep on. And so if you wanted to cram more people, bye, Brittany. I'll see you tonight. If you wanted to sleep more people there, like obviously people could sleep on the couch or the air mattress. But I think that would be a great idea. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do something like that, but I do think that having like almost like a recruiting push could be really, really powerful. And then
yeah, because it was about an hour away from us. How far was it from you, Kaz?
Like hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, not bad. Not
Day
bad.
to drive up as well.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's there.
How far would it take from Brighton? From London
Second.
to
Brighton,
London,
Jay?
it's like half. Yeah.
I'm in Eastbourne,
Oh really? Oh,
so
no,
we could go up
it's an
together. I think it's quite a long way, but we could do it.
hour. Yeah. So I think it's like an hour and a half to London.
Yeah.
How far are you from Uttoxeter? Not Uttoxeter, Uxbridge.
Nowhere near us.
Mm-hmm.
We're right
I've
down
driven down
south.
to there a few times.
Back in the house. My son is so addicted to games on my phone that I can say things like vacuum in the whole house and I'll give you 10 minutes of game time. He said, okay.
Ruben loves hoovering.
Yeah. Like, okay, sure.
Have you seen that one that's been going around here with the £5 note? You give them all a $5. Well, you could probably do $5. Give them all one, and they put it against their head, hold it against the wall, and the last one who's holding it gets to keep it.
Oh my gosh! So then you don't have.
Loads of kids just lined up against the wall with £5 notes.
Are they really doing that?
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And then that's like when they're all being bad and you're going crazy. You just do that.
The last one holding it gets to keep their £5.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I like that. Okay, guys. So, I mean, here's yeah. Oh, so were you thinking about that house for like, having a launch event?
Or just like a team meetup sort of thing in the new year.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a really good idea, though. I mean, I guess that would be really far to do like a launch event. That'd be far for people to come to. I was going to say that would be really good if you did like half the day a team thing and then half the day, prospect launch thing. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard. Like I never hosted a launch for this business, but like now that I'm like, duh, I want to, because I have a lot of people locally that I did not, I have never really talked to about it. Like I literally had someone come up to me, and my kids, they're homeschooled, but I do like a school thing, co-op once a week, come up to me, and she hugged me and she said, I don't even understand what you do, but she's like, but it inspires me and it makes me want to be better. And she's like, she doesn't even know what I would do. And I'm like, it's because I'm a coward. Okay. First of all, it's because I am scared too, Karis. Like I'm scared of talking to the people I know. I'm afraid to mess up a relationship, or make them feel like I want just to sell them something, because I'm very like confident in what I do, but I'm also, relationships mean a lot to me. And I want to make sure that I don't hurt them or hurt one. So I really think that having a launch event is just a really, really like relationship sensitive way to present it. Now over time, I've like dropped that. So for me, like acquaintances or people that I'm not like super close to at this point, I'm fine with just inviting them. Like, but it's still hard for me with people that I see in person a lot, to talk to them. So I do think that having, a launch event is or a party or whatever it is, I think it's like a really, really good way to kind of get over that part that you're talking about, that fear, and let them be the supporter or the hero. Because you wouldn't think twice if you had a friend that was a hairstylist and she was opening a salon, or like, let's say she was designing websites. Okay. Let's say she was designing websites and she wanted you to come to this virtual thing, to show you her design portfolio. Like you wouldn't think twice. You would not think she was, even if she wanted to design a website for you, for your coaching business, you wouldn't be like, oh, you're totally like using me. There's no trick. You're inviting them to a business launch. There's no trick. I do think finding out the more you know about their health and fitness needs, then it's like not weird to invite them, because you're like, okay, you have a problem, I have a solution. Like, do you want to just do this? But then there's on the other hand, like talking about at the point where you all are, as just far as like being new in the UK. It's hard when you start, like, you're like, I want to be a health and fitness coach because I want to impact people through health and fitness. And then you're like, okay, wait, there's this whole business part that's like building a team. And that doesn't feel like health and fitness. That feels like building a business team. But there's two things to think about through that. One is you have a leverage point right now where it actually might be easier or equally as easy to talk to people about the business opportunity as it is just like the health coaching opportunity, like being helped, coached. And the second is I think that you guys, there's no way for you to know this, but being part of our team is the ultimate commitment to inward and outward growth. It's the ultimate commitment, because I have the people that come to me and they want a change in their health, I help them. I show up every Sunday night for 30 minutes on a call like this, and I'm there to be their person. I am there to answer any text or message or email. I am there if they have little tweaks or things they need help with to give them solutions. I am there for them through and through. But their level of commitment is less when it's just about them than it is when it's about other people. And so when you become part of a team, you now have a commitment to people that are trusting you with their health. You have a commitment to people, to your team. And so there's like the highest way to like really change somebody's health. And like when you're on a team, I'm going to tell you straight up, you need to be reading personal development books. You need to change your mindset. Like you need to grow inside. Whereas when you're helping people with their health, you're literally like with some people, it's like, okay, let's just drink water this week. Like, let's just focus on drinking water. Cause they just mentally, you can't say you need to go, listen to books. So I don't know if that helps at all as far as like just sorting it out in your mind. But, if you want to help people and you want life change, the coaching opportunity, is going to provide the most life change, fitness and nutrition wise, mentally. And then there's the financial, component. So it just, in some ways it feels, I know it feels weird. It's not just you. It feels weird, but even posting about it sometimes feels weird. Like, wait, so all of a sudden I used to go on a vacation and just talk and like post pictures with my friends and food. And now I'm going on a vacation and I'm going to post about how like coaching has something to do with it, or I used to just go and eat a healthy snack because I like to eat healthy, but now I'm going to do it and I'm going to somehow tie it into Clean Week or my coaching. Like it starts to be like, wait, what? But it's just marketing. I mean, it's basically like, do you want to help people and do you want to have this job and you want to have this life, or do you want to stay in a job where somebody else is the boss and somebody else is doing it for you? It's kind of humbling ourselves and saying, okay, I'm basically the photographer and the subject at this point. Okay, guys, you know what your job is for this week. Get a success partner. And with my success partner, in addition to the launch, make some rules. Like with mine, what we do, I don't know if I showed you guys that, but we go on Snapchat and we make a video and save it. And then we text it to each other or Facebook message. And we tell each other when we've invited 3 people. Every day we invite 3 people. And so I just do a Snapchat with a funny voice changer. And I say like, all right, I invited my 3 people. Here they are. Or here's their names. Or like, time to go get the kids up or something like that. And I just save it and I send it to them and they send it to me. And like, that's how we keep each other accountable. It's silly, but it just kind of keeps it fun. So that's just an idea if you wanted to do something like that. But anyway, my voice is back. As soon as I got on the plane and I got to the US, my voice came back. I'm like, well, that stinks, but anyway. Okay, love you guys. Have a good sleep. And as always, let me know how I can help. And I'll work on the pictures, Vince. I'm going to work on them.
I said, look at WhatsApp then. If you can get WhatsApp, you've got
Okay, you know what? Teenagers use that here. But I don't know what it is. It's like the big teenager thing because I think it's like safer or something.
It'll be on the Apple iStore and then just put,
okay. All right.
Put our phone numbers in and
WhatsApp Messenger. Okay, I'm going to do it, and then I'll ask you guys. Okay, I'll ask you guys once I understand what it is, what your information is. Or put it in our thread message. I don't know what I need. Do I need your phone numbers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, put your phone number in the message thread, and then I'll have it. That would be easy to be able to text you guys. I see what you're saying. So it's like Messenger, but I get to do that. Okay, perfect. All right, see you guys.
See you later.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.